There we go. Hey, everybody, welcome. And this is the virtual Commanding Wealth Circle. And we get together every Tuesday at noon Central Time so that, one, we can learn the practical aspects of working with the one command technique as created by Asara Lovejoy, who is the author and the creator of the process, the one command. And this is about how do we apply this to our regular life. And we have got a nice sized group today. And I kind of have something on my mind, guys, and I wanted to tune in with you and see what you were going through. And normally this is more of a, we check in, what do you want to attract, create, or manifest? But one of the things that we're able to do with the one command is to do physical and energetic healing, because our beliefs create our physical reality, but our physical reality will a lot of times support our beliefs. And so an example of that would be, of course, if you are stressed, you're getting stressed because you have this idea that you have to get it all done. It has to be done now, and you're the only one who can do it. No one understands. No one's going to help you. Your body is going to respond to that message and dump a whole lot of stress chemicals into your body, right? And then what does your body do? It tries to create stasis, and so it tries to send back other signals like, oh, this is too much. And like me, if I get stressed now, I'm like a dang fainting goat. Now I just kind of like knock out because I have a health condition that after years of being the alpha female and working all these super stressed jobs, I hit my wall and I literally cannot deal with stress anymore. So when I start feeling that build up, I can tell, because I'm like, suddenly I want to nod out, I want to check out or whatever. And that's my body trying to balance the signals that are already going. Okay. So we'll do stress eating. We'll try to distract ourselves. It'll be too much. We divert attention. And if we, depending on how we handle fear, which stress incites because it's stimulating our brain to take action because there's perceived danger or loss, right? Well, however, we have trained ourselves to fight, flight, right? Or get frozen, our body will respond that way, right? We talk about that all the time. Also, that's where that effing around, I've started talking about that, where suddenly we want to distract ourselves and we're trying to balance. So what we do is we want to get that nice serotonin dopamine hit, right? So there's this chemical stuff going on, but then here's the other problem, is if we are living this stressed out, imbalanced life, this idea of even like, in order to, we want to have this big win. We want to have this big save, and we set up these whole systems and programs in order to create enough stress and anxiety that we just finally give up so that we can let our greater selves appear and arise. Always talk about that. It's like, hey, nothing's going to happen until you run out of arguments. Right? The arguments of why only you can do it, or why it can't happen, or why things have to happen a certain way. Nothing's going to happen until you give up those arguments. And this creates a neurological cycle in our body. And one of the cycles that is that I used to run, and I notice a lot of people are, it's that great overcomer, or the big miracle save at the end cycle, which is always amazing, right? It's like, we're walking around using the script of Amazing Grace, right? The lyrics of Amazing Grace. Oh, amazing grace, how sweet the sound, right? I want to be a faithful person. I was lost, but now I'm found, right? I was blind, but then I see, right? And we just have this whole thing and just about how horrible and how tough, and we have all this stuff to overcome. But then just at the last minute, we're saved, and here's the big miracle. The angels sing, yay, right? And then our faith is reaffirmed and we feel good and we feel our connection to everything. And then we tell the story and we feel good and we inspire other people and we feel good, right? And then it comes time for the next thing and we aren't taking that wave of that feel good and that learning and everything that we might have gained because we're in this other cycle of that overcomer salvation miracle cycle. Now, I'm not saying that miracles don't happen and they can't happen. I have experienced incredible miracles in my life, including physical healing in my body from tumors. I mean, I had not tumors, but large ovarian cysts, instantly cleared. When I was younger, I was diagnosed with cancer on 5 different times, went back after doing work and prayer and talking to my body and making the decision that, no, I am not going to die from cancer. No, this is not going to work for me. I have a healthy body, right? And I really just got in alignment with that 5 different times going, and they're going, we're so sorry, we don't know what we saw, right? It's apparently we made some mistake. And well, they kept making the same mistake 5 different times, right? And so I know that there's this incredible power, and sometimes we have these experiences to wake us up, and we have these moments that are our point of faith to take us to a new decision point. Okay. And we go through what's called healing crises. And the healing crisis actually serves a purpose in our spiritual and personal development if we allow it to. Okay. And believe me, I accidentally started using healing crisis as a path of personal growth and learning. And Masara used to, comment. She said, well, I know you're about to have a big breakthrough because you're getting sick all the time. And what happens is our physical body, everything that was holding that old belief and energetic paradigm at a cellular level starts to release and let down. And sometimes there's this flood of toxins. Sometimes it is so disturbing to your core identity that the mind can't cope. And it wants to reset itself backwards to the last time it was healthy. Okay, rather than saying, okay, that level of health is certainly not enough. That was awesome, right? I talk to clients all the time and they'll go, oh, if I could just be like I was when I was in my 30s, and I'm talking to someone who's in their 60s. Well, I want you to be healthy and vital, but the person you needed to be in your 30s is very different than the person you need to be in your 60s. And we have very different values and perceptions. And honestly, our bandwidth is a little different, but also we don't have that big biological drive, right? We don't have that there's this particular drive that even though we may want to be successful, we don't have it to the same degree because we are just simply at a different stage. Okay. Now, I love what Napoleon Hill said, that a lot of men, especially men, but men and women both, are not going to achieve true success in their life until after their 40s, simply because of that shift of that sexual energy. That sexual energy gets transmuted, and that's part of what I'm talking about. Okay. But, our values and our goals and what we need in order to feel happy and satisfied are very different, right, than in our 30s or our 20s, or even now. Like, I'm 62, so I feel very different than my 40s, and even at what I was striving for at age 50, very different. So we have to address and be able to tell the truth about where we are and understand that life is always moving us forward, but our brain and our instinct wants to pull us back to the old paradigm. So life pulling us forward, and our natural inclination to go back to how it was, back to the familiar. This creates a lot of tension, and because we haven't known how to think about it or process it, our body takes over and tries to process it and works it out for us. And then finally, when it says, I can't do this anymore, or it is, you have the skills, the resources, you have everything you need in order to take that back, that's another reason that that health crisis will act up, so that we can go, oh, I've been running this unconsciously. It's time to work on it consciously and to make conscious new decisions. Is this making sense? And I just, again, this is always totally off the cuff. This literally just came in like when I was just saying hello for you. But what I want to talk about today and what I want to tune into is, what healing are you needing? Because right now we are, at the time of this recording, it's April 28th, 2020. We are 2 months in, well, actually about 6 weeks in, to the U.S. response to the global pandemic that actually started up in November 2019, and it's made its way to the U.S. and we are not out of the woods, and yet people are saying it's time to get out of the woods. Let's go back out to work. But you know, as of today, 6 weeks from the time that this hit our shores, guys, 6 weeks, over 54,000 people have died from this in the U.S. alone. And I know that there's a lot of talk that this isn't real, or that there is some other agenda. I'm not going into that. What I'm talking about is that this is something that is happening to all of us, and we're all going through it in our own way. And this is the ultimate healing crisis that's happening in consciousness, that it's time for us to awaken and to make new decisions. And what that is happening collectively. But in order for us to make that shift collectively, we have to look at our own lives individually and what we're creating and what we're ready to uncreate and allow to unwind and dissolve, and what we want to intentionally create. One of the ways that's showing up, it could be in, we're going to call this health, but it could be your mental health, your emotional health, how, you know, the energy in your body. A lot of people are reporting that they just don't seem to have this sense of drive, or they don't know what to do next, and that creates a lot of anxiety, right? And you need to understand that you're unwinding from one level of stress, and then there's this other outside threat which creates this other level of stress. And so it's like, just as the body has this opportunity to unwind, release, let go, there's part of us that we can't detach and allow us to really connect to our greater intelligence, and connect, you know, that greater intelligence, and allow it to connect to our innate body's wisdom. And so what I want to offer to you during this period today is a time for us to just disconnect from all of that, from this short time. It will be right back out there when we come back out, right? But right now, I want to just take some time and be present to you physically and show you how we use the one command for physical healing. And I always talk the royal we, because I'm always referring back to the time in the seminars, but the very first seminar that Asar and I hosted in Colorado, which was probably the third or fourth commanding wealth meeting ever, that wasn't like in somebody's living room or a little small group. And it was a group of about 60 people. And there was a woman in a wheelchair. And from when she really got a hold of this and her power, and how she had been unconsciously accepting programs about her brokenness and her frailty and her lessness, and then she was able to look at, hey, what was happening at the time this came in, and was able to create the healing that she needed. That was on a Friday night. Let me see, she came in Friday. Saturday we had the teaching. Sunday she walked into the meeting. And we've had several people show up in wheelchairs and walk out of the meetings. We've had spontaneous healing happen. A really good friend of ours, Maureen Bell, had a spontaneous remission from cancer when she really got hold of this concept. And so she was still doing the good medical treatment and everything else, taking care of her body. And she took ownership of her wholeness and um, came into a new identity. So I want to be exploring this for the next couple of weeks. And I want to get your feedback. Does this sound good? Would this be valuable to you? All right. And so Maria's saying, pretty color, thank you. I'm sad, not sure how to help a friend I thought I had my future with. He unraveled. I see the wound. I've not spoken with him for days. He's like a paranoid schizophrenic, I think, from past partying years. How to help him in the one command way. He believes in Jesus only. Okay, we're going to address that. And makes perfect sense. Thank you. Amazing. Yeah, I love Maureen. She's amazing. Sandra says yes, right up my alley. Sue B is saying yes, and Nash is saying yes. Okay, great. All right, and so I want to come back in. Let me check the chat. One more message came in. Absolutely valuable. Thank you, Elaine. So let me stop the share. Okay. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to pause the share and come into the group. I want to see everybody, see all your beautiful faces. Hey, how are you? And thank you guys. I don't know who needed this today, but it just got pulled out of me, and that's what you guys do. So thank you so much. So I'm going to just tune in to you first off. And usually we set our intention afterwards, but I want to set an intention before about alignment and us being in a safe space of love and support. Okay. So right now, I just want to align heart to heart with you. And the master in me greets the master in you. And in this space, let there only be love between us. And just allow that love to become illuminated. And just let this light shine from your heart to heart to heart to heart. And if you are watching this by replay, type in hashtag replay and just let us align to your heart right now. When it comes to love and light, time doesn't matter. Okay, so let's just let this love right now and this light connect heart to heart. And I want to invite you to go ahead and ground. Feel your connection to the earth and the healing and the transformative energy of the earth. And today we're going to expand that bit, and I want to invite you to think about the different elements of earth energy. Some could say there's metal, there's wood, there's water. But we could also tune into wind and the sun, really this physical experience in the earth plane on our bodies, okay? And just feel and notice how all things work together beautifully and are harmoniously, and the way that that shows up is through beauty and balance. So right now we're just going to let the earth bring up through its creative life force energy this idea of beauty and balance. And let's adding wholeness. We're just going to bring up beauty, balance, wholeness. as we align to our purpose. And our purpose today is to give support and healing to our physical bodies, which in turn give health and support to our emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. I want to invite you, since we're tuning into the body, to just feel your heart connection. And I like to massage like my heart area in a circular way and just notice which way it feels better. I'm just going to open up that chakra. And you'll know you're doing the right way because suddenly you breathe and you relax and just, yeah. And we're going to be connecting top to bottom, but right now just focus on your throat chakra so that we can open up a new communication between our mind and our body. Now, I don't know what that looks like, so I'm just going to me, I'll do like a radio dial or a massage right at the base of my throat, which is the 5th chakra, and I'll notice which way it feels better. And what you'll notice is maybe your ears relax, your shoulders let down, and maybe there's some like pressure releases off of your head. Beautiful. And we want to massage our third eye because we want to be able to get some new thoughts, images, and ideas. And the way the unconscious mind and our body communicates sometimes is not through words, but it will communicate through symbols, okay? Because it may not know the words or the language, but the mind is very metaphorical and works a lot in symbolism, okay? So right now we just want to open ourselves and open our third eye in order to be able to see and know. There we go. Now, who felt a little ping in their forehead? You can give me a thumbs up, or like when I said, and to see and know, who felt a little resistance at knowing? Like, who felt a little jump or a little discomfort, right? So right now, if you feel any resistance, if there's any thoughts going through here, it's like, oh, I don't know how. It's okay to see. It's okay to know. I only know I'm okay now, and I am fulfilled. There we go. And we want to definitely become aware of our crown chakra, our connection to source. And I like to just maybe scratch the top of my head a little bit or tap. But I just like to become aware of my connection to source. And that's also our higher selves, our souls, the great I am, God, universal intelligence, however you address that greater intelligence. There we go. And now just as you become aware of your connection to source, just let source make its connection to you come into your awareness. Oh, I don't know how to become aware of source's connection to me. I only know I am connected to source now, and I am fulfilled. And we're just going to feel that energy start to come down. And I want to just invite you to direct your attention to this energy coming down either side of your spine, down 2 channels, and it's connecting all the way down. It goes all the way down to the center of the earth. And now that cord comes right back up. It's going to come right back up through the roots of your feet, mixing and mingling with that beautiful life force energy, that creative life force energy. And as that's coming up, it's going to this is just coming in. I'm just going to go with it, guys, okay? We're going to go ahead and just allow that root chakra that is about our security and safety, our territory. Just allow that energy of that creative life force energy and that spiritual life force energy starting to come up through your body and balancing that beautiful ruby red chakra. Continuing up, and we have another chakra that is just below the belly button called the navel chakra. This is very powerful creative center. This is feminine energy, money, creativity, but it's also our place in our tribe, being nurtured and wanted here. There we go. And it correlates to your lower back and that sacral chakra about being supported. And it is a beautiful navel orange color, and just let the light do the work. There's nothing for you to do but just simply notice and let that energy be opened and balanced in its own time. Feeling that energy come right into your solar plexus, which is your I am identity. And since we are talking about healing and wholeness, I just want to invite you to massage right there on that solar plexus of a beautiful golden yellow tone right there that says, I am healthy and strong. I am healthy and strong. I am fit and well. That's just coming in. We're just going to let it do what it wants to. And now, just as you're massaging, let your body, your hips, your shoulders, however your body starts to adjust as it aligns to that idea. Let it come back in, bringing your attention back to your heart. Allowing all of this energy that we've just opened up and charged up come back into alignment with your heart, your own unique wisdom. Beautiful. So right now, just as you're tuning in, there may be something health or some physical help or something in your health realm that you're needing help or support with. If you'd like to check in with that, do me a favor and raise your hand on the chat and I will call on you. Okay. I want to kind of keep this space quiet. Hi, Joanna. Thanks for joining us. I don't get to see you, but I see that you're here. And Elaine, hi, Nash. Hey, Sue and Karen and Sandra, Maria, Hannah, Sue, Sandra. Thank you all. Hey, Maria, I want to, on this issue with your friend, on what he believes, okay? And right now, there's this belief that you have about his ability to heal and this your inability and powerlessness, okay, to help him. And what if it's just as true that you only have one job, and that is one to see him, to witness him in his wholeness. And that has nothing to do with any belief system. And what's really easy to align to is the pain, their loss, their confusion, okay? But what I'm going to invite you to do when we think about somebody who is not well, we could call that holding the space. But I wonder what in you is ready to be released and healed so that you can witness him in his greatness. right? I wonder in me, is there a judgment? Is this the drama of this situation? Is it keeping me from addressing what I need in my own life? Do I feel like I'm the only one who can save people because no one ever saved me, right? If I save him, then I'll get, right? We have to be willing to look at that, okay? All right, great. And so she's going, right, right. So right now, we may not know, okay? We may not know what it would take for him or for you, because there's something you two guys are working out as souls, okay? We don't know. I don't know why he's in your life. I don't know what the role is, anything else. I only know that all things work together for our good, and all paths lead to enlightenment. That's the Tao, right? All paths lead to enlightenment. Even this hard, rocky, what looks dangerous path to us. We have to trust and know that all paths lead to enlightenment. Okay? All paths lead to love. So I could use help in formulating command to be a better parent to my inner child. Okay. So right now, the best way to do it, the best way with him, has to do with how you are seeing him. Okay? Not how he's seen himself or his belief system. How you see him. That's what I'm going to bring it back to. So in your mind's eye, if there's someone you guys are praying for, I have a very close friend whose son recently took his own life, which had struck a big chord with me. And what I do know, because I had a 16-year-old nephew that did, and it was a really hard one, but I was able to see the path of enlightenment on the other side of this senseless loss. And it healed a big piece of our family, and I know it healed me. And because of what happened with that, it took me to this other level that I was able to help and work with people. Okay. So, but that was a decision I made, that on the other side of this, I'm going to be better. On the side of this, I'm going to help more people. Right. So, Maria, on the other side of this situation with your friend, number one, think about, who do you want to be on the other side of this? Do you want to be frightful and worried and be spending your mental energy picturing him, dead, dying, lying in a ditch somewhere? Or wouldn't it be more valuable to see him awakening, healthy, whole, and see yourself as someone who was able to catch that vision for not only him, but for yourself? Yeah. Just asking that question, right? What do I want to be? Who do I want to be as a result of this experience? What do I want to be on the other side of that? Getting clear on that. Whatever answer arises, that's your command. So guys, whatever situation you're in right now, think about what you're going through and who do you want to be on the other side of this? Who do you want to be? Well, you can say, I want to be someone who is stronger, wiser, healthier, more aligned to their power. I want to be somebody more confident, right? I want to be someone who's off the, me, that little overcomer, miracle train. That was really an exhausting way to live. I have a million miracle stories, but I realized how much destruction I had to create to get to that miracle every day. I want to be someone who creates and builds. I create and build. And part of that is sometimes dismantling, and that's okay because it's a part of a greater process that I'm intentionally creating. Yeah, there we go. So who do you want to be? That's the command. Whatever's in your mind right now. And what comes up for you when I ask you, who do you want to be on the other side of this? Who would like to share? You can just go ahead and unmute. Who had an aha? Let's see. I'm seeing faces light up over here.
I,
Who's
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut anybody else off, but you know what just happened with uh, sorry, got a frog just now. Um, but I was reading something just yesterday about how our unconscious mind tries to, our subconscious tries to communicate with us, and we override with our conscious mind.
Yep.
And there were so many, and just now as you were talking, it's like it all kind of came together. It's like I just felt like if I had listened more to my instincts and not let myself be overridden just by my conscious or logical mind and been strong in it, it would have made a big difference and can make a big difference going forward.
Yeah. So how would you word that? I am, so who you want to be is someone who absolutely trusts their instincts?
Yeah, what I had written down is I want to be someone who listens to my intuition and
Okay.
be strong in following its direction to me. I'll have to work on the wording, but
I love it. Yeah. I don't know how, I don't know how, and, like hold it as a strong conviction that you absolutely can, I don't know how I'm strong in my conviction that I can absolutely trust my intuition. And
yes.
right. I only know I'm holding strong now and I am fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
So I like something about that starting and ending in strength. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, this has been amazing. It's
Oh,
like every
thank you.
week it just gets more amazing.
Well, I feel like I'm almost channeling today, but thank you very much. Whoever decided to show up and start speaking, but thank you. All right. I want to tune in to Maria, see if that was helpful. Overriding emotional nature. A clear focus beacon of love and light, attracting my right clients and partners and living a life of ease, joy, and glory. Yeah, go ahead and get in and go ahead and just encapsulate that, Joanna, into one word. I don't know how. I am that beacon. All that's contained into I am that beacon of love and light. I only know I am a beacon of love, and my light is shining forth now, and I am fulfilled. There we go. All right. Who else has like who do you want to be on the other side of this? How does a beacon help another see their wound and heal? Being that beacon, being that light of love, right? Being that beacon. One, it reveals, but also it gives you a direction to move forward to, right? So on that other side of that, for her, beacon is a very important word. And I always had this idea about, I want to be that beacon because if they see me and they know me and what they experience with me, it would be easier for people to trust and know that God sees them and loves them and matters, that they matter to God. I just always wanted to be that if they could trust and believe in me, and if there's an experience they could have with me, it could increase their greater faith. That's all I ever wanted. And that wound up happening time and time again. Okay. So what do you want that beacon to be? Do you want to draw people to? Do you want to help keep them? Sometimes that beacon helps them avoid the lie, avoid the rocks, and some gives them direction on what way to go. And sometimes that beacon can help reveal in the darkest of times. Okay, wholeness of who I am with ease. Okay, beautiful. Sue, I want to check in with you for just a second.
Hi,
How are you?
Catherine.
How are you doing, honey?
I am doing really, really well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I am the project I was speaking to you about. I am making good progress, and I am definitely, so thank you to the group, because I'm definitely feeling like I'm much more energized, and really everything's going all in the right direction. So
Perfect. Thank you.
thanks.
You look, there's a little light kind of coming around you now that I haven't got to see for a while. So
Oh,
I'm happy to
thank
see you,
you.
honey. All right, honey.
Thank you.
While people are kind of formulating their idea about who they want to be, I want to tune into Hannah. I think this is your first time with us, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Where in the world are you, Hannah?
I'm in UK, Birmingham, UK.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's hard to hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, Birmingham in UK.
Birmingham in the UK. Well,
Yeah,
welcome.
thank
And
you.
you're one of our one command leaders, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, you and I have stuff to talk about, honey.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've never had the chance to meet you. We've had a few email exchanges, but it's lovely to put a face with that, with all your lovely messages.
Thank you.
Thank you. And let's see. I'm going to tune in to Nash.
Yes.
Hi, how are you today?
Yeah. Well,
So,
thank you.
so on the other side of this is this physical healing piece. Is this anything that's resonating with you today?
Well, just the energy part of it, low energy. But one thing was to my mind was when you were talking about who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we do some general type of command like, I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, I want to be wealthy, I want to be wise, I want to be helper to assist people.
Yeah.
Can we do like that, or if this is generally speaking?
Well, we're going to be talking more about that. He's in our Commanding Wealth program, but there's at the center of this, right? Like at the center of everything, there's who you want to be, and there's the things that make you happy because of who you are. There's the effect that you're able to have because of who you are and the choices you make and the way your relationships are and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's everything, your beliefs come from your identity. Okay.
Right.
So also as manifestors, we want to manifest, we need to have a really clear energy field and have this other conversation with ourselves, because we may be inadvertently cutting off our flow energetically with stress, with worry. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can, if you want to be someone who's just happy, that's cool. I mean, I think there's worse things in the world than to want to just be a happy person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Because but think about, as a happy person, how would that resonate through your body, right?
Okay.
How would you sleep? As a happy person, do you think that would make you more impervious to sickness? And do you think it would help you heal faster?
I think so. Yes, it will help
Yeah,
me to
science has
faster.
shown, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And
we're going to be
as
having
they
a higher
say,
vibration.
keep laughing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you want at the center of it, it's like all in all, no matter what, you're going to be a happy guy.
Okay.
Right? You're going to find the good in things. I think that's a very powerful state of being.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Now, Richard, you had a request at the start. Now we've done all of this so far. Here we are, and it was about being able to have a better communication, better parent to your inner child.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you doing?
Oh, a lot of mood swings. Just a lot of anxiety, depression, you know. I mean, I'm still on purpose. That has not swerved me at all as far as, my goal and my vision and everything. And that's still moving forward. But as far as my personal life, just a lot of upheaval. And I think it's partly just tuning into trying to detach from it, but it's like tuning into the collective consciousness, which is
Yeah.
you know, being an empath, it's I need to kind of more and more detach from that because it's very, very destructive for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's playing on my insecurities of my inner child that already has his insecurities to begin with. And
Yeah.
then I'm not being a good parent to him, reassuring him. So you know it. I'll have a
Yeah.
personal session with you at some point, probably soon, to more address it in more in depth. But just for now, if you can help me a little along those lines, it'd be great.
Okay. You know, the reason I talk about this identity piece, I'm going to mute you just for a second. Okay. This identity piece is so important. And, you know, Richard's empathic. I'm very empathic. Sue is. I'm not sure about others' healing gifts. I think Karen's very sensitive to the group. Based on our identity, that's going to create our resonance, our vibration, but what stories, what aspects we're going to naturally gravitate to. If we see ourselves as victims, we're going to start aligning more to the victim, the de-stress. If we see ourselves as if we have unresolved trauma, if we feel helpless, then we're going to be resonating and vibrating at the same level of those who are helpless and victimized, okay? Which empathy is incredibly important, and it is absolutely a superpower. But if we get into sympathy and we start running along that same level with them, we cannot help anyone. We really can't. Might give a moment of comfort or encouragement, but we really can't be the help that we were called to be, that we were created to be, which is why we have these gifts, okay? Unfortunately, for most of us, our gifts came as a result of great trauma, right? And this was how we were able to heal, arise, and even find our connection to source through 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 this. And that's why when I talk about this overcomer miracle path, that being the path to how do we get to that rather than just be that, right? We're been trying to get to that instead of just being that enlightenment, being that miracle, being that opportunity. So there are people looking at this and they're going, this is an incredible opportunity like never existed before. The biggest, greatest need arising in the world, and the internet at a time that more people than ever can connect across the globe, right? And we have the power to make a bigger difference in more lives. And they're excited. They're operating at a higher vibration, even though they came from that. Why? Because they're putting their attention on who they can be of service to. Okay. So this is why it's important. It's like, who do I want to be on the other side of this? And then even tying back to Maria's, like when we see this, do I want to be the person that is able to lift up people and encourage them? Right? I want to be that. That's who I want to be. I want to be like, yes, I know it looks really hard. Just, you know, if you've ever watched somebody do rock climbing or watched your kids climbing the jungle gym and you go, okay, listen, all you got to do is move your foot up just another 2 inches and you got it, right? Keep hanging on, shift your weight, you got it, right? And then they're able to figure it out. So you got to figure out what your role is, and all, you know, all this stuff seems important, but if it comes back to who do I want to be? I made the decision that I want to greet master to master. And in doing that, that is a solution oriented, that aligns us to higher values, that creates an activation with them of their unique gifts, skills, and talents that they might not have been aware of simply because of what part of them I chose to be in relationship with. Am I going to love them? Yep. Am I going to meet them? Yep. Am I going to donate money? Yep. I've given away, I've been in the car. My sister's like, at some point, could you just please start putting extra jackets and clothes in the back of the car? Could you just start adding stuff? Because she watched me pull off a coat more than once and handed it to someone. And, you know, pull off a scarf or gloves, or what cash do I have? Let me go hit a cash machine and come back to the person standing on the side of the highway or whatever was in my degree. And she said, please, could you just prepare to do the good that you know you're going to do? I'm like, so there is all of this. So by making the decision about who you want to be, how can you best prepare to be that help that you know you want to give? That you know you want to give, that you're born to give. God. And our job sometimes is not to be the love, right? We're just like this placeholder to be that point of faith so that people could meet that love, to meet that opportunity, to meet that glimmer. Sometimes that's all we get to be. Sometimes just in our thoughts, that makes a difference. Okay. And everyone here, I know that you think about things at a deeper level than most people, and all this is affecting you. So please, what the point of today is so that you can make that decision to be the master, greeting the master, and allowing that to be the focus of your thoughts. And from that, every need you have will absolutely be met, because the master that you are is in charge. When you run up against what you don't know, when you get afraid, when it feels like it's too much, when you hit that blank space, that's when we go up and we make a command. Excuse me. Oh, pardon me. I'm just feeling a little emotional on this right now. I just feel this very deeply. And I'm just love y'all so fucking much right now. I'm just so in love with it, each one of you. And I just am so blessed to be in your space. So thank you. All right. So Richard, on the other side of this.
Yes.
And you have a big mission. You've felt it. And I know.
Yeah.
And it comes from you really have suffered, and you want to help ease suffering, and not just in this life. You help people at levels of existence that most people never even think about. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is just coming through for you right now. Please know that no matter what you're doing, you're a healer. And remember that the levels that you work with, and you are making a big change and making a big difference on those levels. Okay. And you're absolutely being supported in your work right now. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Whew. We do not mess around, guys. I'm going to check in with Elaine.
Hello, Catherine. How are you?
I am doing well, my love. How are you today?
I'm okay. Thank you. Yes, I am. I've been helping plant trees, so I've been very happy. I know it's 106 degrees, but I'm still very happy to do that.
I'm so happy that you're helping to plant trees. We need those.
Oh, we do. We do. And I'm a gardener. So, I mean, I only ever get the throwaway plants, and my husband Mel says, oh, that's wonderful. He says the only downside is that they grow and they grow. But no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, because I feel like I'm doing something worthwhile.
Yeah.
And I have to do that. I can't just go along like a wave, just flopping along by the shore.
No.
What I'd really like is to have the peace of mind knowing that I have the capability, both physically and financially, to help the dogs that other people can't seem to help.
Yes.
Whether it be permanent or temporary, I just really, really feel that's my calling, and I want to do that so badly. Yeah. So goodly, or so goodly, however you like to look at it. That's been my driving force for so long, and I just like to put all the boulders away.
So if you were the kind of person that could just make that happen.
Yes.
Right. It's not, I want to do this. I'm trying to, right. If you were the person that made that happen,
yes.
What would you call that kind of person?
A giver?
Well, we have lots of givers. You're giving all the time. Why? So you're not giving, and you don't have any dogs you're saving, right?
No, I only have James now.
Yeah.
I
So you literally don't know,
no,
right?
I don't know what I would call myself other than I have the
Yeah. So I
desire.
don't know who I would be, right? I don't know how to have that identity as one who has the ability
Yes,
to
yes,
create what's on my heart, right? I don't
yes,
know
yes.
how to have that identity. Okay.
That's what both I want the peace of mind to be able to do it, the capability,
All
both
that would be part
with
of it.
property plus, yes, plus the
Hey, I'm just a person who's
financial.
able to make it happen.
Yes,
That's
yes,
it. I don't know how I have that identity. Okay. Everything you
yeah,
said is rolled up into it. Okay.
yes,
So are you willing to let go of the way you know yourself now as somebody who wishes she could?
oh yes, yes. I want to be the person that's done it.
That's right. Hey, you know,
I'm
like
doing it.
hey, and it's kind of like, hey, if somebody else did it, I can do it. It must be, you know, this is a
Oh yes,
doable thing. I'm sure I can
yes.
figure this out.
Oh
Right?
yes. I want to be the person that's not done it but is doing it
Yes.
on a daily basis.
And everything already exists. I mean, we talked about this before, that it's really easy to start a unique GoFundMe type page, right? Like if you
Yes,
went to Google and you said, I want to create a platform like GoFundMe,
yes,
and they will pull up the templates. And you could literally start your own thing. So for people who want to, not necessarily maybe you being the one who's doing all the dog retreats, because you kind of got some, you've got a conflicting belief, you've got a conflicting commitment, and that is about moving. Okay.
yes. Because
So, and then the family, and there's
oh
still
yes,
things, some other things, but that is the biggest conflicting commitment.
yes,
What if you were the kind of person that was able to make it possible for everybody who has that dream to create the funding and the platform? What if you were the person that made it possible for thousands of people to create dog havens and retreats?
yes.
Yeah. Well, you know nothing about it, right?
Right. I'm confident enough to do that because I've
Well,
overcome an awful lot.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you can do a Google search, then you could, that's a good start. Then the pieces start kind of falling in, okay?
Yeah.
But right now you don't even know, because you wouldn't take action even if a map were laid out and a chunk of money and here's the development money, everything else, and you would still be frozen because you really wouldn't know what to do with the money and all the stuff and what the right
Exactly.
questions and everything, right?
Exactly. It's still a yes. It's
Well,
it's
part of it
less of a
is you have,
fog
yeah,
than a
you have
mist.
beliefs about your ability to manage and to take care of big things. Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know how, and
Don't know
so
how.
that identity, right? So I don't know how I have the identity
How I have the identity.
of someone who's able to dream
Someone
big
able to dream big
and make
Yeah.
big things happen.
and make big things happen. Oh, that is so perfect. That
I
is so
only know I
perfect.
am now. Yeah.
You know, yes. Oh, yes. That is it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That,
There.
yes. That's
Yeah,
it.
and so you do the command, you expand it out, and then after it comes in and it unwinds, then you really have to ask, like, well, if I were that kind of person, or as that kind of person, I wonder what I would do. I wonder what I would say. I wonder what I would be drawn to, right? I wonder. So then you'd be spending some time, and then you come down to that good, you go, hey, I think I would be doing that. Well, actually, I could do that now. Then you go, well, to what degree could I do any of these today? Right?
Yes. I do donate. I mean, I donate to, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I want to be hands-on and rescue save the forgotten. And there are an
Save the
awful lot out
forgotten.
there. There are an
There's the name of
awful lot out there.
there's your website right there. go
See?
to namecheap.com and get that website right now.
See what an inspiration you are.
Okay, honey.
Thank you, Catherine.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to check in with Karen. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
And So on the other side of all this, on what it is that you want to create, right? On like this wholeness, right? Because you're quite health conscious, and I know that you've had a big health challenge, and you're really working on your physical healing. But as someone who was healthy and whole, and you had all the strength and power you needed, how would you know yourself? What would your identity be?
Well, I'm looking forward to finding out because I'm going to get there. I feel like I'm getting there, but how can I answer if I haven't been there? But
Yeah,
then I'm able to help others.
yeah. So yeah, I think that we're kind of coming back to Elaine's right now. Your mind doesn't quite know, like, hey, there's something you're trying to get to. It's kind of like unknown. It's kind of like when you see it, you'll know it kind of thing. Is that how what you're thinking? Like, I don't know what it is, but when I see it or I hear it, I'll absolutely know.
It's just moving forward with something I've wanted to do for a long time, I think.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm hey, I'm somebody who is able to move forward, right? And accomplish what I desire. I'm a person who continually moves forward.
Yeah, even if I'm not concrete on where I'm going. So maybe that's.
Well, you know what? It sounds like you like to have the experience of being a wanderer and go have experiences rather than someone who wants to arrive at a destination. And that's okay too. You want to be an experiencer and taster.
Yes, right? Very much so.
Yeah. Well, that's valuable. Yeah, there you go. Because you're one of those, when you get a good bite of something, you like to share it with other people.
Yes.
So I think that that's a good thing. Okay. All right. Beautiful. So, so it's like, so you're someone who wants to experience and share your experiences.
That's a large part of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Writing about it, speaking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Joanna on? Because I saw that she typed in, but I don't know if she's here. I want to just check in right quick. Joanna, are you there? I'm not able to see who's on the phone.
I'm here. Can you
Okay,
see?
there you are. I hear you.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So what's coming up for you is, all this talking and who you would be on the other side of it. What's coming up for you?
Well, actually, I had a text a client who's being a pain in the you-know-what in the middle of it. So
That's all right.
what I want to be is the kind of person that attracts the kind of clients that are respectful and pay their bills.
Okay.
I was the one that said I'm a clear and focused beacon of love and light. That's been where my focus has been, is if I had to put it in one sentence. I just wrote 4 pages on this last night. There's some resistance coming up in me. But what happens when I don't sleep? But what happens when I'm having a great difficulty with focusing? So I'm not able to get as much accomplished in a day as I could be. And tied into that is the inability, I hate even to say these words, I'm living in a bit of a mess here. It's not terrible, but it's disturbing to me that I've allowed it to get this bad.
Yeah.
And I almost seem incapable of getting it. Just, I clean up one corner and the other corner is a mess. I clean up that corner and the other corner is a mess. It's like I'm leaving unfinished stuff. That's the first time I'm saying this. I'm leaving unfinished stuff everywhere. And now I attracted a client that is, leaving me with, we're supposed to do a webinar on Friday, but he didn't send out the invitations. He didn't create the graphic. So it's like I'm attracting people that are not finishing stuff.
They're matching your room, right?
Perfectly. Yep.
Yeah. So the identity that's out there, instead of being the person that's the beacon of light, and that, hey, you're the kind of person that is excellent, and so you are attracting excellence, right? Right now, you're not in your excellence, which I know you're excellent. You're incredible. Just, guys, she's incredible. She's so smart. Oh my God.
You know what? I'm
People just are like, we ought to just like, please, just if you could just sit next to Joanna, your IQ is going to literally raise up. I'm telling you. So, but you're not feeling it now. You're in your vulnerability.
I'm incredible in a little small band. I'm
Well,
incredible.
be in that band, right? Be in that band. If you need a narrow bandwidth to be in your genius, there's nothing wrong with that.
Who's
Okay.
going to come and clean the mess?
Don't worry. Take your, well, the thing is, what happens to what we focus on? What we focus on expands.
Yeah.
So you are brilliantly expanding your mess.
I surely am.
So how about on the other side of this, you'll be one who brilliantly narrows her focus to a laser-like intensity that gets incredible, magnificent results faster than anyone ever imagined.
Well, that would be nice, because I
Yeah.
could use a little income.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I could use
see
a
how
large
you have that separate.
a little income. I need
Yeah,
a
we're,
lot.
you hear the coaching? We're going to go on here. We're doing just a little coaching. Do you hear how that you have those two separate, that your spiritual gift, your genius is not naturally compensated? Okay. So that's the underlying belief. So of course, as you're aligning and you're honoring, you're going to be attracting people who are aligning and honoring. And it will be very easy because of your laser-like focus and the incredible results you get, the rapid results you get, and levels that people didn't even know they had problems that get resolved, you know, just because you're around, that they didn't even know existed, and they get things they didn't even know they wanted until they met you, right? They didn't know it was possible until they met you. I'm speaking to the master that you are. So I don't know how, right? You have this belief that they might not, they won't, as great as I am, they're not going to pay me. So I don't know how people, you know, I allow people to pay me. I don't know how I naturally incorporate the idea, or I naturally incorporate the truth that as I focus and give value to my gift, people will give value to my time. I don't know how. I only know I am valuable. That's who you want to be on the other side of this. I want to be valuable. I'm seen, heard, or perceived as valuable. I am valuable. I am valuable. Be that valuable. Okay.
I am valuable.
Yeah.
I know I'm valuable.
Yeah, we are. So I am, and you're holding that. And the thing is, as you hold that and you start to understand the value that, hey, you as my client are valuable, and your relationship with your customers, Mr. Client, is valuable. The product, service, industry that you're in is valuable. And I want to help you get that value out into the world in a more congruent way. I'm here for you. And I'm holding this greater value, right? And I'm looking for people who match that and who are worthy of my time and energy. And we're just going to have a conversation to find out if you're one of those people worthy. No, maybe we won't say it like that. But hey, let's see if our values match and what we both believe in to be important, and if I really could be of help to you. And of course you're going to pay. They're going to give value to value. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it be separate anymore.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I am valuable. There you go. Thank you. Elaine saying I see a pale blue light around me. And I got my throat chakra open. And I'm going to check in with Cassandra. And I wanted to see if Charlie B was back this week. Yeah, I freaked her out. I said last week I want her to send a picture of her, this mess she keeps talking about. But hey, Cassandra, are you there?
Hey.
Hey,
Okay.
honey. How are you today?
Cold and wet.
Cold and wet. Okay, so have you got to be with us from the beginning today, as far as knowing that we're talking about physical healing and what we're needing?
No, I came in partway through.
Okay. So I know that you've got a concern about work and you've got a neighbor situation, right?
Right.
If these were resolved, right? If you were the kind of person that could go, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm making this happen. If you were the kind of person that could get this resolved, who would you be?
I would be so powerful.
I am powerful. There's your command. I don't know how. I am powerful.
I don't know how. I am powerful.
I only know I absolutely have the power to create what I want and need now.
I only
And I
know
am, yeah.
I have the power to create what I want and need now.
And I am fulfilled.
And I am fulfilled.
That's right.
I don't need glasses.
That's okay. Just roll your eyes up. Just be powerful. So right now you don't know what power is. You're walking around in this state of powerlessness. Well, I want to, but in this powerlessness we all have right now. There's some things like AA almost gets right and wrong at the same time, that we have to admit that there's some things bigger than us, right?
Right.
So the thing that doesn't get acknowledged is the greatness in the person that also exists in that frailty. So right now there is a greatness in you that has all the answers. There is a power within you. And just like Joanna, just notice where you have been putting your attention, where we all put our attention, where Richard was putting it, and I'll put it on busyness and all that other stuff. Okay. So here's a command coming in for you in the group. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Okay. I don't know how I start agreeing with the truth of my greatness. I only know I am aligning to the greatness that I am now, and I am fulfilled. And just let that go. Let that expand out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. As one who agrees and acknowledges. Now that is your identity. I agree, I acknowledge, and I live from that greatness now. And I don't know how, I only know it's so now. Now feel yourself coming back down into your body as that one with nothing left to argue about, only to live in agreement with the truth of your greatness, your power, your value, living in alignment with your gifts, who has the ability to listen to their dreams, hopes, wishes, and desires, who honors their intuition and guidance, that has the courage and the strength of conviction to abide by it, that it knows how to position themselves as one who greets master to master. And as you're feeling yourself come back in, we're just going to unwind, unwind, unwind. Any resistance, any pain, any idea about having to suffer or wait or deny ourselves, just let it go, let it unwind, unwind, unwind. And in your mind's eye, because we've opened up our third eye and our throat chakra, in your mind's eye, notice what thought, image, idea is beginning to arrive as the truth of your greatness begins to be revealed. Free to fill you, to express through you, to act through you, to guide you, to be your courage, to be your strength, to be your inspiration and your consolation. Now just witness and notice and allow what it looks like as everything within you begins to align to that greatness that you already are. Rewind, rewind, rewind. Bringing your attention back to your heart. When you're ready, open your eyes. And just as you're ready to open your eyes, come back into here now, I'm sharing an image that's still straight off of Facebook. And it has to do with, we went through this energy system today. And this is what's starting to get activated within you as one who has the power, the one who knows, the one who is that beacon of light, as the one who can trust her intuition, as the one who is valuable, that gives value, that helps other people, that reveals the value that other people gives, and on and on and on. That is that light, that is love, that is that encouragement. Hey, that is the truth teller. And when we're telling the truth in love, we can tell the hardest truths in confidence. So we went through on this journey today of I am, and I feel, and I do, I love, I speak, I see, bringing us into this greater understanding about the truth of our greatness and our power. I hope that this has been helpful today. I appreciate everyone so much for what they shared and contributed. And I'm just so blessed by you and all the ways that you show up in the world. And I am completely humbled by you. And if there's any way I could be of any help or support to you, please be sure and let me know. And if you haven't tuned into the Commanding Wealth Circles yet, please be sure and do that. We'd love to have you and love to hear what you have to share with the world and your gifts. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go. We went a little extra today. And I'm just loving y'all. Now I am just so in love with you, and I'm so blessed. So, my friend, until next time, this is Catherine Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and I witness your mastery. Bye-bye, everyone.